What happens when charm, power, and desire collide in a world of love and relationships? In the 1992 romantic comedy Boomerang, Eddie Murphy's character Marcus Graham gives us more than just laughs and smooth one-liners. He embodies a psychological puzzle, a man who seemingly has it all: status, success, and women at his feet, yet struggles with the very thing he avoids most: intimacy. Beneath the surface of his polished suits, romantic gestures, and witty charm, Marcus reveals layers of fear, identity conflict, and emotional vulnerability. His story isn't just about a playboy caught in his own game. It's about what happens when self-image, insecurities, and the pursuit of love crash head-on. In today's breakdown, I'm going deep into the psyche of Marcus Graham, analyzing his attachment style, his struggles with authenticity, his relationships with women, and how Boomerang cleverly flips the script on gender roles. By the end, you'll see that Marcus's journey isn't just a comedy, it's a mirror reflecting the psychology of relationships we still navigate today. From the very beginning of Boomerang, Marcus is introduced as a man who moves through life with confidence and charisma. He is the quintessential ladies' man. His wardrobe is immaculate, his words flow like poetry, and he knows exactly how to make women feel desired. But psychology teaches us that charm can sometimes function as a defense mechanism, a way to mask deeper insecurities. For Marcus, charm is not only a social skill but also a shield. He uses it to maintain control in relationships, ensuring that he never gets too close or too vulnerable. His player persona can be seen as a projection of what psychologists call an avoidant attachment style, where intimacy feels threatening and emotional closeness feels like a trap. Marcus thrives on control because control protects him from rejection. If he always leads first, he never has to face abandonment. Marcus's identity is tightly wrapped in being a successful seducer. This archetype of the womanizer is less about genuine connection and more about affirmation of self-worth. Every conquest Marcus achieves serves as proof of his desirability and power. Psychologists often link this type of behavior to what's called narcissistic supply, moments of external validation that temporarily boost a fragile sense of self. While Marcus may appear to have in confidence, he lacks in self-assuredness. His identity as a player fills a void, covering insecurities about whether he's truly lovable without the games, without the smooth talk, without the image. This fragile self-image is why Marcus's relationships are shallow. Depth threatens to expose the very insecurities he's trying to hide. One of the most fascinating aspects of Boomerang is how Jacqueline, played by the actress Robin Givens, flips the script on Marcus. She becomes a mirror of his own behavior, confident, detached, and unapologetically in control. For the first time, Marcus experiences what it feels like to be on the receiving end of his own tactics. Psychologically, this creates a moment of cognitive dissonance. He's forced to confront his hypocrisy. While he relishes control over women, he is destabilized when that control is taken from him. Jacqueline represents the psychological lesson Marcus has avoided: emotional reciprocity. Through her, Marcus is confronted with the realization that playing games is a defense, not a pathway to love. Her role isn't just as a love interest, but as a catalyst for Marcus's transformation, exposing the emptiness of his patterns. The triangle between Marcus, Jacqueline, and Angela, played by the actress Halle Berry, reveals two psychological roles. Jacqueline embodies Marcus's old habits: seduction, ego, and games. Angela, on the other hand, represents authenticity, vulnerability, and growth. The choice between the two women is symbolic of the psychological choice Marcus must make within himself. Does he continue chasing validation through shallow encounters, or does he step into a relationship that requires genuine intimacy? Angela challenges Marcus to remove his mask and be seen for who he really is, not just a polished charmer, but the flawed, vulnerable man underneath. Choosing Angela represents Marcus's willingness to step out of his avoidant attachment cycle and lean into emotional security. But why does Marcus fear commitment so deeply? Psychological analysis often points us back to childhood and formative experiences. Though the film doesn't explicitly show Marcus's backstory, we can infer that his fear of intimacy may be rooted in early experiences of inconsistency or rejection. Individuals with avoidant tendencies often learn that closeness leads to pain, so they grow to associate intimacy with risk. For Marcus, casual flings are safe. They give him the illusion of intimacy without the permanence of vulnerability. His growth then requires unlearning these patterns and realizing that true intimacy means risking heartbreak but also gaining connection. The title Boomerang itself is symbolic. Psychologically, it represents the principle of projection and return. What you put into the world often comes back to you. Marcus throws games, manipulation, and control into his relationships, and those very traits come back to hit him when Jacqueline treats him the same way. It's a cycle of consequences, an emotional boomerang. But the film doesn't stop there. It shows that cycles can be broken. When Marcus learns to embrace authenticity with Angela, he finally chooses to throw honesty and vulnerability into the world, and in return, he receives genuine love. The boomerang then isn't just a metaphor for karma, it's a metaphor for psychological growth. Though Boomerang came out in the early 90s, Marcus Graham's story remains relevant today. In a world of dating apps, hookup culture, and carefully curated social media personas, many people still struggle with the tension between image and authenticity. Like Marcus, modern daters often mask insecurities with charm, avoid vulnerability with temporary flings, or chase validation through external approval. The psychological lesson is timeless. True intimacy requires self-awareness, vulnerability, and the courage to step away from performance and into authenticity. Marcus's transformation shows us that even the most committed player can change when confronted with the right mirror and the willingness to grow. So what does Eddie Murphy's Marcus Graham teach us about psychology and relationships? At the core, Marcus represents the human struggle between ego and intimacy, between performance and authenticity. His journey from womanizer to a man capable of real love is more than just a rom-com storyline. It's a psychological case study of how identity, attachment, and fear of vulnerability shape the way we love. By the end of Boomerang, Marcus learns that love isn't about control, gains, or conquest. It's about presence, honesty, and the willingness to risk being seen. And that's the true boomerang effect. When we throw out authenticity, it comes back to us in the form of genuine connection. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into Eddie Murphy's character in Boomerang. If you enjoyed this psychological breakdown and want more analysis of your favorite films, TV shows, and characters, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to PsychScreenPerspectives. And let me know in the comments, do you think Marcus truly changed by the end, or do old habits die hard? Until next time, remember, the way we love often tells the deepest story of who we are.